Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the news briefing this Wednesday, June 10th. Well, our public comment period for the county's Community Climate Action and Adaption Plan is now open. So you're wondering, what does that all mean? Well, our community has been involved in a variety of ways over the last few years to create this plan, and the plan offers a roadmap for reducing local greenhouse gas emissions, and it will also guide our growth in sustainable ways. We're going to talk more about the plan and the comment period and how people can be involved. We're very pleased to have our sustainability manager, Cora Panturad, here to talk with us all about it. Hi, Cora.
Hello, Maya. Thank you very much. And I'm joined here by Hannah today, who is our lead consultant with Ascent, who is sharing her screen. So as Maya mentioned, we are pleased to announce that we are starting our 60-day public comment period for our climate action and adaptation plan. So on our next slide, we have a brief overview. So as Maya said, our climate action adaptation plan really is a roadmap for how the county is going to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and really tackle climate change. So we identify our existing and projected emissions into the future. We set these reduction targets by establishing policies and separate actions. And then we also are looking at the adaptation side of climate change because there are effects of climate change that we are already experiencing. So we need to prepare for those while we are working on reducing our climate impacts. So our climate action plan helps us to engage the community and provide an implementation program to do that. So one of those first steps was to look at our greenhouse gas inventory and to understand what our current emissions look like that are for greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change. And this is our 2019 community greenhouse gas inventory. Our top three sectors are on-road transportation, agriculture, and then buildings, collectively 21% when you look at non-residential and buildings for residential sectors. And why this plan is important is because without any further actions from the county, then this is showing our projected greenhouse gas emissions from 2045 without local action. So the dotted line is our state mandated climate goals that we are working to meet from SB 1279. And as you can see, we are not meeting those without anything in the climate action plan. But with the climate action plan, we are able to meet the 2030 and 2040 goals, and that is certainly a step in the right direction for us. So we really are looking forward to community impact on these reduction strategies, as well as the adaptation strategies in the plan that focus on things like urban forestry and cooling centers for our vulnerable populations. And the public can engage on our online portal. So we're using a Conveo tool. You can follow this QR code to take you to the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan, or you can just search Monterey County Community Climate Action Plan. And the platform has the PDF available in both English and Spanish, so the public can add their comments directly into that tool by clicking anywhere on it. And that is available through August 9th. And you can also email us your comments if you are not able to use the tool. All right, Maya, any questions from you?
Thank you so much for, especially for the background, because there's been a lot of work done on this plan over the last few years, and we need to be reminded about, why it is important. Over the time that you've been working on this, how are you seeing the industries or the sectors that are contributing to the need for this plan that have those high levels? What have been their response in terms of what they can do? Because we all play a role in this. Everybody can take action and make the climate safer and healthier. What are you hearing back from some of these sectors?
Sure. So Hannah, if you could go to our bar chart that shows our greenhouse gas inventory in a little bit more of a broken down way. So again, our primary sector is for on-road transportation. And when you look at that, what you'll see is that light duty vehicles make up the majority of our transportation related emissions. So what we've been doing with this is talking to our transportation providers within the county and thinking about how we can reduce our vehicle miles traveled. So really getting people out of cars and either onto public transportation or onto active mobility, like either shared bikes or personally owned bikes and active transportation. For agriculture, fertilizer application is the main source of greenhouse gas emissions. And this is something that's already covered by Ag Order 4.0. So the ag industry is already working to reduce fertilizer application. And in conversation with farmers and ranchers, there's definitely potential for carbon sequestration and natural solutions to be incorporated into different pilot programs. And we're really excited about continuing to work with that sector. And for our building supply, so most of the greenhouse gas emissions are coming from gas use. And with that, there's definitely a set of challenges regarding affordability that we're working to address through a number of programs in the Climate Action Plan, like green banks and regular incentives for residents. But that's all technology that is available and we have solutions for. So making sure that we can manage that transition in an equitable way is of top concern for that sector.
And I know that over the last few years, there have been surveys on alternate transportation, getting people's ideas about biking and taking alternate transportation. Is that all going to kind of come together with this under this kind of light duty segment where you're encouraging people to do something different rather, get out of the car and try something else?
It will, yes. So we have been doing a lot of work on our zero emission shared mobility study recently. We've been engaging with Monterey Salinas Transit and the Transportation Authority for Monterey County, as well as some regional transportation partners like SCCRTC and Metro in Watsonville. And there's certainly a need to rebalance some of the different routes and frequency of our transportation system within the county to better serve our residents and also to provide active transportation solutions so that we can better connect our network for mobility. And also from what we're hearing from our stakeholders and residents is we really need to prioritize safety in our streets so that people feel more comfortable walking, biking, and not using their car to get around.
So it sounds like you're getting the information that you need, for this particular sector. Could you bring back the slide with the QR code that directs people to the comment where they can make comments? I want to show one more time. And then if you would remind us of the timeline for when they can make comments.
So that is through August 9th. And again, you can comment directly on our Conveo platform in both English and Spanish. You do not have to create an account, and we will be compiling all of those comments there. And if that is a little bit too much on the technology side for any stakeholders, then you are free to email us at climate@countyofmonterey.gov.
Cora, thank you so much for being here. And Hannah, thank you for managing the slides for this. It's really great to see that this project has gotten to this point. So and it sounds like you're meeting your timeline needs that you need to hit.
We are able to meet quite a few of those timelines. This project has been in development since 2021, so it's been a long time coming, but we are able to meet our 2030 and our 2040 goals with the actions in the CAP.
Cora, thanks so much for being here as always. Always appreciate your time.
Thank you, Maya.
Now we're going to move on to what I consider kind of Christmas in the summer, which it just wouldn't be summer without our library summer reading program. There is just so much going on at the libraries with the summer reading program. You can keep yourself engaged during the summer. You can keep your kids engaged during the summer. We have Alison Day here to talk about all the activities. Hi,
Hi,
Alison.
hi, thank you. I'm actually here at our King City branch right now where we just finished our first program of the summer. So we had Rhythm Builders drum programming here at King City. And in Marina this morning, we had a magician. So summer reading is off to a nice start. We've actually had already, just in the first week, higher participation than we've found at some branches in the whole of last year. So we're really excited about that. We're already breaking some records, and I'm excited to share some more information with everybody. I have some slides, so I'll go ahead and share screen and share those with you. Um, And where's my little button for this?
Go and get close.
All right, so our theme this year is Plant a Seed, Read, as you can see from my screen in here. So we have some really nice farm to table graphics going in with the ag theme, and that ties into some of our prizes as well. So this is some of the graphics that you'll see on our reading logs and our challenge cards that we have available. To sign up for the program, you can come into any of our branches between June 1st and July 31st. You can also sign up online on our Beanstack platform, and there is a link to that on our website, on the Monterey County Free Library's website, to track your reading online. When you sign up for summer reading, you will either get a reading log, and this you track your reading for every 20 minutes that you read. You color in a vegetable. This is geared towards kids, so we want to emphasize that listening to a book counts as reading too. You can have somebody read to you or listen to an audiobook. Graphic novels also count, as do magazines. Any type of reading during the summer we encourage, and you can track that here. When you sign up at one of our branches, no matter your age, teens, adults, and kids, you get a free book that you get to keep to build your at-home library. We have books again for all ages, as well as books available in Spanish. And this year we are really proud to announce that we have large print titles available as well. This is our challenge card, which is geared towards teens and adults, and it has a mixture of reading tracking, which are those little vegetables down at the bottom, where you can track each hour that you read, or some activities. If you've participated in the summer reading club in the past, you might know that we usually have activities, and we got a lot of feedback that adults wanted to track their reading too. So this year we did a mix of different activities that you can do, as well as tracking your reading. So when you come into the branch, you will receive either the reading log or the challenge card, as well as get to pick out your free book just for signing up. Then when you're done with your reading log or your challenge card, you'll come back into the branch and you get to pick from some of our really fun prizes this year. So we have very, very cute farm animal stuffies, as well as little chia pets and little art kits to build your own clay animal. We also have fidget slugs, as well as flower Lego sets. And then we have our branded content this year is our really cute little bok choy cat with his little pile of books that has Monterey County Free Libraries on the back, as well as a reusable cutlery set. So that cutlery set has a knife, fork, spoon, as well as a collapsible straw in it. So you get to pick from any of these prizes when you complete your log. Of course, we have performers during the summer. So as I mentioned, Marina just hosted our magician, and he'll be at all of our branches at some point during the summer. We also have a puppet show from Puppet Art Theater, as well as Jungle James bringing reptiles that people can interact with and get to experience firsthand. We have Sterling Bubblesmith, who has been with us many years in the past and has a wonderful show, great for all ages, blowing bubbles and just having fun with bubbles. And then here at the King City branch, we just had our Rhythm Builders program. Craig does a wonderful music program for all ages, passing out instruments so that everybody can participate and have fun. We also have adult and teen workshops during the summer. These all require registration and are for ages 13 and up, and they include things like paint parties, air dry clay workshop, tie-dye workshop, doing collages, architecture models, and lawn games. These won't be available at every single branch. Branches pick the ones that they think will work best in their communities. They do require registration. All of this information, like I said, is available on our website, emcfl.org. You can look at our event calendar, as well as on the front page of the website, you will see a little button for the Summer Reading Club where you can find all of this information. We're also doing our Lunch at the Library program again. So the majority of our branches will have lunch service available for 18 and under. So check out the website for that as well. Each branch has different times and days of the week that they do their lunch service. And that is it from that perspective. We really encourage everybody to come and sign up and participate, and we look forward to seeing you at the library this summer.
Alison, thank you so much. And you guys always come up with some great ideas for activities. What age group do you find loves these activities the most? I mean, are you gearing them towards some of the younger kids? Because honestly, I would go see the magician. I would go love to play with bubbles. I mean,
So
it
I
can't
have
be just for the
the
kids.
yeah, I have the extreme honor and pleasure of being the one who books all of the programs, and I do really try to look for programs that I think will be enjoyable as, you know, a 37-year-old. And so I say they are for all ages. You definitely don't have to have a kid in tow to go to any of the programs. They really are for all ages. Some of them might have a little bit more direction in terms of what age would work best. But we invite everybody to come to those youth and family programs. As I mentioned, those art workshops are geared towards 13 and up and do require the registration. But all of the family programs are open attendance for anybody who would enjoy them. And I would highly encourage folks to go check them out. I love watching Sterling Bubblesmith. He won't be at Big Sur this summer, but when he is there, it's wonderful. You just sit out on the lawn and watch him blow bubbles, and it's really amazing.
Mesmerizing. Uh,
Yes.
and then also remind people, these aren't just, they're everywhere. The
Yes.
programs are everywhere. There's no branch that is left out
Correct.
of,
Yes.
of activities.
Yes, so we do all of these programs, and you can sign up for the Summer Reading Club at any of our 16 locations, as well as on either of our two bookmobiles, so our North County and South County bookmobiles. This year, we also piloted a new thing where for some of our smaller branches, we actually partnered with the schools during the end of May, and we took the performances into the schools to try and reach more children, and that increased our signups already by 1,000 students by reaching out to those schools. So we went to Aromas School, Ohlone School in conjunction with our Pajaro branch, Lockwood School in conjunction with our South County Bookmobile, as well as Parkfield and Bradley, and Captain Cooper and Big Sur shipped the kids out on the bus for a field trip to the branch. And like I said, that increased our signups by over 1,000 kids that we were able to reach by working with the schools this summer.
And then it's not just the hard book that we're talking about. And I wanted you to reinforce that because not everyone is into the summer beach read, but there are still ways that you can have fun and you can participate and log your hours when it isn't just a regular book.
Yes, yes. So we highly encourage folks who are interested in listening to audiobooks, and we have resources available on our website. Our Overdrive platform is a great place, as well as Palace Project, which are available on our website to check out audiobooks for free through the library. We also have a newish resource called Comics Plus, which is an online comics platform. So you can have, as if you were reading an ebook, but graphic novels for all ages, and that's also available on our website. Listening to somebody read to you counts, reading to somebody else counts, reading magazines counts. Like I said, listening to the audiobooks while you're walking the dog or taking a drive, all of that counts. I even had one young student, about 4, at one of our schools who picked a graphic novel that he wasn't going to be able to read, but he told me that he was going to make up the story based on the pictures. So that will also count. We just want people to have fun interacting with books and the libraries this summer.
And remind us of the window for summer reading.
It runs from June 1st to July 31st, so the entirety of the month of June and July.
Okay, well, everyone get cracking because those are some pretty cute prizes.
Thank you.
Alison, thanks so much for being here. Always appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
So now we're going to talk about artwork. So the Arts Council of Monterey County, a very important partner for our county, and we see some of the results of that partnership in art exhibits every year at our county building. And these exhibits are so important to make art accessible to all. We're very pleased to have Jacquie Atchison here, and I think I just bungled your name, Atchison, who's the executive director of the Arts Council, who's going to talk about some upcoming exhibits. Hi, Jacquie.
You just have to remember the song, the Atchison Peak and the Santa Fe. That'll help you with the name.
I'll get right to that one.
Well, I don't have a slideshow for you, but I do want to talk about 2 exhibits we have going on right now. The first one is there at the Government Center. It runs through the end of this year. And it is, we have 32 artists there with 59 pieces of art displayed throughout the 3 floors, including the CAO's office. It is open to the public, I think Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So everyone's welcome to go check it out. We have a reception coming up next week on the 16th from 4 to 5. And again, that is open to the public. And then on June 23rd, we have a reception at the Health Department there at 1270 Natividad, also from 4 to 5. And there we have 15 different adult artists, and we also have 17 youth artists there, with about 41 art pieces distributed throughout the building. So like I said, everybody's welcome. These are government buildings that are open to the public, and we'd love to see people come by and see all the art.
And I'm hoping, Jacquie, you can tell us, how does the artwork get to the building? You might want to talk about the process, because I think there might be artists out there who'd love to see their work up on our walls. And how would they do that?
Well, we work with the county staff to create a theme for the art. A lot of times it's like celebrating Monterey County, so it's focused on images that represent the county, both the peninsula and Salinas Valley. And we do a call to artists. So we send it out through all our social media, newsletters, and ask artists to send in their works. Then we have a curator who, with the team, I believe we have a couple people from the staff there in the Economic Development Department who help select the art. And then once it's selected, we know, because we had to figure out different sizes for different walls. And, you know, they figure out different ones, and then they invite the artist to bring the work in on the days that they're installing. And it usually takes a couple of days because it's a big space there, especially at the government center. And then it's on display for about a year, and it's also for sale. We have it on our website where they can go in and, you know, if there's a QR code next to the piece of art, and they can scan that and take it to our website, and it'll show them how much it costs and how they can pay for it. And we ask that it stays on display for the whole term, but it is an opportunity to help support these artists.
So anyone who is interested to find out about how they could participate can call the Arts Council, find out when the next call to artists might be. I also was hoping you'd talk a little bit about the value of public art, because this is, you know, not everyone can go to a gallery in Carmel and see that fine art. This is where we can put art for everyone. And working in this building, I thoroughly enjoy when people walk in the door and are walking straight ahead and looking up. And you might, you know, they might be bumping into other people, but that's what it's all about, right? Because they're so enjoying what they're seeing.
Right. And not only do we rotate the art in the buildings, but as you know, in the government center, we have 2 different murals that we painted. In the east stairwell, you're going to see a painting by Jose Ortiz and his group of Salinas and Salinas Valley. In the west stairwell, you're going to see more representative of the peninsula that was painted by Lynetta. So we try and, you know, show art from all kinds of different artists and mediums, you know, and because these government buildings are open and exhibiting this art, it really allows them to go to places like you mentioned that they can't always go to galleries and museums. These are free, you know, they can come in anytime when the office is building, and it just creates opportunities for engagement across all ages, backgrounds, cultures. And I think this really shows the county demonstrating their commitment to supporting the creative economy while celebrating the unique identity of our community.
And there's really every kind of artwork on the walls here. People who may think art, they put their art in a box and think there's only one kind of art. There's all kinds here. There's photography, there's collage, there's textures, there's, you know, everything. So they can kind of expand their love of art just by walking around.
Absolutely. And like I said, there's, you know, almost 60 pieces there just in the government center. And anytime anybody wants to come by and see it, I mean, it's colorful, it's vibrant, brings a lot of energy to the government building. And I think it's just a really great way to support our local artists also.
Jacquie, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about this. We'll see you at the reception next week, and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Mayor.
And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week.